Now we're recording. So there's still time to earn Mexico, and I know it might be a stretch for some stylists, but there is still time. And so, but I'm super excited about the trip, and then this will probably be something that will be continuing. So stay tuned for more information. So if you haven't won the trip or haven't earned the trip, I should say, nothing about winning it. It's all about earning it. But if you haven't yet, just keep working it because you're going to get some more information about the next trip. So Jackie in February promoted to, and I love sharing this. And sometimes we hear it from this about the same stylist a lot, and it's really what you're putting your mind to. And I love just sharing that it can happen and that the dream is real. Jackie promoted to stylist manager 2. That was in her first 90 days. And
awesome.
Yeah, and that's all, you guys, that's all personally sponsored too. I think Jackie's gotten like one or two home office people, but mostly her team has been personally sponsored from Leah Sophia, but also from outside of Leah Sophia too. So that's awesome. And Jackie also joined Mary with the Fresh Start Big Earner Group. And Mary earned the Gucci coat, and Jackie earned the MacBook. So that was awesome. And then we had a lot of stylists who closed qualified parties last week, and this goes through last Thursday, so that we can type it in the Stylist Weekly. So that was Barb, Mary, Lori, Elizabeth, Omara, Michelle, Davila, Jackie, Meredith. Meredith had a really strong comeback and was a power seller. Donna Jackson, Donna's in Michigan too. She came to us from Jockey. Megan's in Wisconsin and getting off to a great start. Allison Cass, who's we also came from Jockey in North Carolina. Again, another amazing start. Marianne from Alaska, who's just steady, amazing. Simeon from Michigan, doing great. Michelle, Marianne Kozak, and Elizabeth Floor. So that was awesome. And these stylists had at least $1,000 in personal volume last week. So Mary, again, Meredith, Barb, Jackie, Donna, and Elizabeth. And we had power sellers too. So our power sellers were last month. This was we hadn't made our announcements yet for February. Jackie and Mary both did over $5,000. So 30% commission. That's awesome. Way
to go, girls.
What's 30% of 5,000?
1,500.
A lot.
1,500.
Oh, nice.
1,500 bucks. Woohoo!
That's awesome.
That's so awesome.
And Barb and Meredith were also power sellers. So we had a lot of awesome stuff happening. Okay, so I'm going to go over. My book is in my office. I'm going to grab that in a second. Adrienne, while I grab the book, do you mind just sharing like kind of the purpose of the why behind why we want to go over Melrose again?
Absolutely. So we wanted to go over Melrose again just because, as Diane said, we've had the collection out a couple of weeks. And we're getting some great feedback. But I think one of the biggest opportunities to increase sales and sponsoring and continue to build that momentum through March is really product knowledge. So I thought it would be really great. You've got it in your hands because before you hadn't seen it yet. So now you have it in your hands. People are asking those questions. Oh, how does it go with this? And what about this? And so we thought we would circle back around and talk about the collection. But not only that, Diane's going to share some great feedback that she's received about the collection and how to wear it, because I think that's so important when you guys are at your trunk shows, with the catalog, and when you're sponsoring to really, maximize the collection, which is ultimately going to impact your sponsoring and, of course, your sales. So that's where we're going to revisit that.
And I want to this morning I did the slideshow, but I want to use the catalog this time. I want to use the lookbook. What do you guys think of the lookbook?
Oh, my God, I love it.
Right?
Awesome.
Janessa, you have yours, don't you? Do you have some?
Who?
Was that Janessa? Everybody has
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, I have that.
They
came, and I had a trunk show last Wednesday, a trunk show Saturday, a surprise trunk show kind of yesterday, and oh my God, the reviews of the lookbooks, I am so ecstatic about this collection. The softness is to a new level. Like, I'm falling more and more in love with everything.
That's awesome. It sounds like you're going to have some people joining, too.
Yeah.
Diane, yeah, that's really cool. So
Diane and then her friends.
The lookbook has been really, really well received. So, I'm going to go over the pieces as seen in the lookbook. And you'll see with the lookbook, one of the tools that we're giving you is versatility, the way to wear the clothing.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
In different ways. And
it's so awesome.
In the original presentation, we gave you the different Pantone colors too. So if you need that, it is in the Stylist Weekly. The first time that we did the Melrose collection, I went ahead and posted that PowerPoint. It's in my hair here. It's like a little mirror. But it's in there, so you can. This is our glacier gray. And when I say that the twist wrap is your anchor piece for the season, it really that is, and it has been kind of the cornerstone of parties. It's been that anchor piece where most of the parties are selling like at least 2 or 3 twist wraps. So, and it's a great value piece too. And the way, you guys are so awesome. I should have known you'd find out other ways to wear it. So, you've been posting upside down and backwards, and it looks fantastic. It's a really soft, great piece, the twist wrap. The harem pants have been a favorite too. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute you guys because there's some background noise. And then if people want to talk, you just let me know. If you type in the box and you're going to say something, you just hit star 1 to talk. So the harem pants, again, in the lookbook, if you haven't seen the lookbook, and the lookbook is online, it's on our website now, but lots of different ways to wear them. They surprised me because I didn't really think they were my shape, which is okay because you don't want everything in the collection to be something that you wear, because you want to be able to have a versatile customer base. And if everything is what you absolutely love, you're probably going to, you're not going to have something that other customers might love who are a different body shape or body type or whatever, different preferences. However, I'm going to try to move into light here. However, make sure you try everything. And I've noticed that I'll go back to a piece that I didn't necessarily think was going to be my favorite. And it'll even be like 3 months into the season, and I'll try it on, and I'll be like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. Or I'll see one way that you're posting it or that you're sharing it, and I'm like, that is so cute. So just give each piece a chance and see how you can wear it. But one of the great things about our pieces is that they are demonstrable. So you can demonstrate. You can use them really well at a party. So I was talking to someone, I think from your party, Janessa, and she's telling me how she wore, she's telling me about a jacket worn as culottes. And I'm like, that is so cool. Don't know, can't imagine. But the way that people wear things, and kudos to you, Janessa, for having them really interact and wear things in a different way. So in the lookbooks, if you don't have them yet, there's all sorts of ways that we're merchandising how the pieces go together and how to sell them. And, okay, so a sheer layering tunic. I've got to talk about the sheer layering tunic, okay? So that's this one here, which is white, and it's sheer. It's a layering tunic. One thing, though, is this piece is extremely fragile. So it's sort of like silk. It's very fragile. This is not your, throw it in the dryer piece. And so we're putting a label on it that tells people that to handle with care. It's so soft, and that's, unfortunately that has been something, so pay close attention to that. Oh, and one thing about the twist wrap, just wash it once before you either wear it or put it on your rack, because it has some flyaway lint when you first take it out of the package, but then after that you put it on, you just dry it on delicate, and it's totally fine. Okay, we've got our shrug, which has been another fantastic piece. The great thing about the shrug is it's one size, so it's easy to fit, easy to wear, and of course we've got the wrap shawls that are back. We've got the nautical maxi skirts, and by popular demand, the black maxi, the timeless maxi skirt. Again, the black maxi can be worn as a dress. Now, call everyone you know who's about to go on spring break. And it's a great, I'm glad you love the maxis. It's a great, what an opportunity to outfit someone for spring break who has kids at school. They might be going away. Let them outfit themselves by having a party and getting their friends outfitted for spring break too. So these are perfect travel pieces. And that sheer layering tunic is great too to throw on over a swimsuit when you're at the beach. We've got our trunk show in the catalog, our hostess charge. Now you're going to notice in the chart we started at $800. Why did we do that? Because most of our parties are over $800, and also we just wanted to set everybody's sights a little higher. We do of course have hostess benefits at the $400 and $600 level still. So, and there's always things about the opportunity. So think about, as you want to build your business, that residual income. Okay? So when we talk, you'll notice that everything with Winnie and Kat, everything that we share, like our lookbook, we're always talking about three things. Okay? We're always talking about buying products, about selling products, we're talking about booking parties, and we're talking about the opportunity. Okay? So I'm gonna ask you this month to lead with the opportunity. Lead with that. I talk to people all the time, experienced direct sellers. Lead with the opportunity, and then go from there. And then you can go to hosting a party, then you can go to buying something. Because, Mary, for example, you got that $1,500 check, and imagine if you had 5 people under you who are doing the same. Okay, and to have 5 people under you doing the same, you're going to have a lot of people under you to get to that. Or even if you have, I want you to think about where you want your business to go and looking at your whole team and the whole personal volume of your team, and write down your goals. If you write them down, they are much more likely to happen. And you're right, Mary said I wouldn't be so tired. You're right, because you don't have to do that. You don't have to keep pushing it so hard. That's the thing about this business. The thing about this business model is the more people you have out there. So sometimes, and in the maybe not so distant future, you might be out to dinner, and that while you're out to dinner, there's 5 parties going on your team. Okay. So while you're out to dinner, and that doesn't mean you didn't have a party the night before, or you're not having a party the next week or whatever, but what you want to do is that every time, all the time, you want some activity on your team. Okay? So so Janessa, you're out with your husband, and maybe you're out on a Sunday, or even, you're working, maybe you're nannying or whatever, and that while you're at your job, Jennifer, you're at your job, and while you're at your job, there are other people working for you, and I can tell you that you can do it, because we now have about 300 independent stylists, right? And that's what I've been doing, and I've been building it. And while I'm building the company, while I'm working with vendors, while I'm putting together the collection, all these things, while I'm, divorced mom of 3, so all of the at the same time, building the team, and you can do that too. And you're in front of the people, right? So you got to have the parties. Lead with the opportunity and build your team, okay? And envision what that looks like when you're, think about something you love to do. Like, is it hiking? I don't know. Everybody type in something you love to do. I'm going to take a sip of my tea while I do that. Sailing, working out. Okay. How would you like it? Shopping, saving animals, nice. So how would you feel if you think about you're doing your favorite thing. Okay, so Mary, you're on a boat. You know, you're working out, or you're crafting, you're shopping, you're volunteering with animals, and you come back home. Okay, so like you're off on a sailing day, and you come back home and you look at your downline report, and you look and you see, I had a $2,000 day on my group volume, or I had whatever it is. I had a $500 day. I had a $5,000 day. You look at that, and you should know what your group volume is doing. And looking at that report, because I do it all the time, you know, and it's a really fantastic feeling when the business is working. And I want you to be able to get there, because that's the magic of it, and it's the magic of sharing. So all of you join, right? And you all join for a reason. You all join because you loved it. So keep on sharing it with the other women who you think are going to love it, or even if you don't think they're going to love it, try it. You know, they might. You never know. So keep on sharing it, because you're going to give them the opportunity to be on these calls, the opportunity to win a trip, the opportunity to come to Mexico, whatever it is, to be working with you. And then you're going to be, you know, coming home from, you know, or working on a crafting project, and then all of a sudden, while you're working on that project, while you're doing something that you absolutely love to do, your business is building. And you have people on your team who are, and I know, I'm seeing everyone on this call, I can say, is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night trying to figure out how you're building your team. And pretty soon, once you start working it and once you start building it, you know, you can do it too. You can get 300 people on your team in 2 years. I know, because I did it with a lot of other things going on, right? And then once you're at that point, so in 5 years, you'll have 500, you know, or whatever that number is. And if you get there and you know that there's people, and you're going to have leaders down below you. And with our compensation plan, it doesn't matter how far down a leader is. They count towards your override, and you can get paid all the way down. So just think about that and hold that feeling, and check and see what time it is. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions. And okay, write it down and look. Always look at your group volume. I don't care if your group volume, you know, maybe outside of your sales, your group volume is $50. I don't care. Start looking at it and start measuring if your group volume is higher this month than it was last month, and how much is it growing, okay? So think like a business person to really get this going. You're spending your time here. You're spending the time on the call. So make that happen. Okay, so are there any specific products that you're not sure about that you want me to talk about so I can hit on those? Because then I'm going to go into one. I want to go into my life-changing strategy that I promised you. So we've got some of our classics are coming back. Winnie and Kat. We've got our soft high-low tees are back, and we've added the Whisper Pink. We also have the best pinks ever. I'm loving the custard. Never thought I was not a yellow wearer, by the way. I never thought I would like yellow. I love it. I'm totally loving it. And then also there's ways to incorporate the collection with amber waves. And with the previous collection, I'm wearing the long sleeve raglan and acid wash leggings right now. And so we've got the custard, and we've got the lucite, the wrap, and lucite green, which is an obsession of mine. I love it. That is, and that color is like that 1950s. I'm looking for this picture I took. I found a car in a parking lot that matched it. So of course I took a picture of it. Let me see if I see. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. I'll have to post it. It's one of like some 1950s car that's the same color. But it's such a fun color. It's like those refrigerators and, you know, all that stuff. And Jennifer, are you in Vegas yet? Jennifer said, well, you can see what she said. Her 50th birthday in Vegas. Woohoo! That's exciting. Well, the burnout tee. A new, just easy to wear. Great. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow. That's awesome. Happy birthday. Great. The burnout tee has been a great seller. All of this stuff, by the way, we've had amazing feedback. The Blueburst Maxi is now available, to everyone. It was first only available to stylists who are at the retreat. And there's many different ways to wear it with our different accessorizing in the lookbook. And we've got our classics back. We've got the faux wrap dress, short sleeve, and we've got the, right now with the bodycon skirt is always easy to sell. We added white and black to the best pink ever to add a great classic. And we've got the wrap shawl in turquoise. And then we've got the day and night shift dress in black right now. So there's a couple other items that I wanted to go through the highlights and just see if anybody had any questions. And then, of course, on the catalog, we've got the place your label here where you can put your sticker. So always have some with you. And then remind people to like us on Facebook and all that stuff. So I'm going to move on to the life-changing. This is the book. Okay, Change Anything. And here's what I learned in this book. Do you ever, and those aha moments, I think, sometimes I'm like, why didn't I know this, like in my 20s? And then I realize I'm understanding it now because I'm hearing it now. But the premise behind this book, Change Anything, is by Carrie Patterson, Joseph Granny. Well, I can post it, but it's called Change Anything. And the idea is we have all of these, I don't know if you can see the sun. We have all of these factors pushing on us. The sun is, wait, hang on. I'm moving the curtains here. The sun with daylight saving time is in a funny place. So we have all of these factors that are pushing on us to have certain behaviors. So I'm going to use for an example, and you can think about either your business. I always like to use weight loss as an example because it's like we all know what you need to do, right? We all know that you eat less and exercise more, but it's hard. And why is it hard? So what they talk about is that what we typically do is we have so many factors that are pushing us to keep our behaviors. Okay, so if we talk about weight loss, okay, we talk about our eating habits. Think about all of the factors that are influencing our eating. TV commercials, friends, there's a social pressure, being out at restaurants, where, whatever it is, all the things you think about, it's just a little bit, maybe you're in an office where they bring in donuts. Whatever it is, there's so many different pressures. You're going out with the girls. It's your, it's vacation. It's your birthday. Whatever it is, there's all these different social factors and all these different things that keep us down. We might think we can't do it for whatever reason. We might have some old story in our head. So there's, maybe there's say 7 different things, or maybe it's even someone who just, another diet. There's 7 different things that are pushing at you. What we tend to do is we tend to pick one thing to positively influence us. So if we've got these 7 factors pushing down on us, and then we choose one thing, we might choose whatever it is, the paleo diet or, Weight Watchers, whatever it is, we'll choose one method and one thing to do. And I can tell you that when I've lost weight really successfully, I have done what they've told me, and I've implemented several different methods at the same time. So the premise is you've got to think about what your habits are and how you operate, because you are unique. So if it is, like, for example, if it's weight loss or if it's your business, if you think about what it is about you that drives your behavior and that works for you, and you've got to write it down, because you always want to write down your goals and write down your progress. So you want to write it down and you make your own personal plan of attack, okay? And you have got to, and this is going to be in a nutshell, but you have got to, and when you have buy the book, there's also a code. So there's a Change Anything website, and you can log your progress on there too. When you implement different methods, okay, so say it's your business, and you're going to think about, okay, what is going to make me share the opportunity? So maybe you already have parties on the books. Maybe you have 6 parties on the books this month. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 8. So you think about what is going to happen, because I want to recruit more people. So let's use that example. And maybe you think about why you haven't. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's but then go more specific. Like, I get afraid to ask at the party. Okay? So then you have to think about what's making you afraid, what makes you afraid to ask, and then how you're going to overcome asking and how you're going to make it happen. So it might be, well, I'm afraid because, I don't know, you can type in things too, type in reasons why you might be afraid to share the opportunity, or type in reasons why. Let's do that. Let's use an example. If we can go like a couple minutes longer. Type in some examples of what might be keeping you from sponsoring. And then maybe we can work on that. What is just, if everyone types in one thing. Okay. Afraid of upsetting someone. Hearing no. Okay. A couple of you said hearing no. Okay. So, and that is something really to work through, is that like learning and accepting that you're afraid of hearing no and thinking through why, and what is that, and that behavior, like part of that influence, like what is something that could help you to even not care if you hear no. Okay, so that's one thing at the party that's keeping you from asking. Okay, but now you've got to put those influencers in, and you've got to remember, right? And Adrienne said Adrienne's talking about handling no on her morning call tomorrow. So make sure to get on that call. Mary said she's starting not to care about hearing no. Mary, do you mind if you hit *1? Can you tell us why? Because I'd love to hear that. I think it's *1 and then you can talk. Try it and see if that works. But the more that you can, so that's one thing in your toolkit, because you've got to put together your toolbox, and you've got to put the tools in, and you've got to sharpen your tools, and you've got to write it down. Okay, so if no is a fear, that's one thing. Then you've got to figure out all the positive influencers that are going to make you ask anyway, and you've got to set your plan. You've got to write your plan down, and you've got to set it in action. So, okay, I don't know why Mary can't unmute, but if you can, just type in or something if you can, or if not, we can. Don't care about the no's. Done caring about the no's. Yeah, don't care about the no's. Care about the yeses. So, exactly, and think about one of the tricks that I like to do is when I'm afraid of hearing no. First of all, and I know like one thing Tip does too, I'll share with you, but I think about when I'm sharing, the women in the room are being trained. Okay, they're not on my team yet. Okay, because I haven't shared it yet. But I always think about, I kind of turn around it as my opportunity, my responsibility to them. Okay, so they're here, and if they come on my team, I'm going to want them to be trained so that they can have the best possible business. So they've got to hear me ask. Because when they're doing it, when they're joining, or when they're hosting their parties or presenting their parties, they need to be asking for them to grow their business. So I need to ask because I'm training them, right? So it's my responsibility to the women in the room to ask. That's one way to look at it. One way is to think about the yeses. Think about how excited you're going to be when you get the yeses, and you can't get the yeses until you say the no's. And then another thing, so that's the mental stuff. Then the other thing is there's that card. There's that card that says you can fill it out. I have to give you blank if I don't ask you. Okay? That's the tool that's going to sit there. There's games on how to trigger you to share the opportunity. So you've got to just pound on it and come down with many, many things. Okay? Many, many things that are helpful. Because you might forget the card, or you might choke, or whatever it is. There might be one piece that crumbles. But you have got to go equipped. If there are 7 negative influencers telling you, it might be someone says something bad about something. I don't know, what it meant, some negative comment. Whatever fear it is, you have got to have more influencers forcing you to do the activities that are going to make you successful. Then you have negative influencers telling you why it can't be done. Does that make sense? Because I'm so excited about this. And I have my own plan, and I've been writing it down. And it's everything that you can learn, everything that you can hear. And this is life changing. And sometimes this stuff is obvious, but these people make, they study and we read it and we have to be ready to hear it. But this is truly game changing, and it's so simple and it makes so much sense. So arm yourself, equip yourself with all of the tools. It's not about willpower. None of this stuff is about, that's what they talk about. Sometimes people think they fail because they're not strong enough, because they don't want it enough. That's not necessarily the truth. It's sometimes you want it enough, but you don't know how to get there. And use me, use Adrienne and Tiff, because we're all different. And we're all different. We all have different strategies. And so use us as well for your inspiration, for your questions, to help push you. So, we're pushing the rock up the hill right now. So I just kept you about 5 minutes over, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. You are investing in yourself. You're investing in your business. Reach out to us and let us help you sponsor, okay? Because we're on it. We're on it, and we want to help you build your business. I can talk to people. Adrienne can talk to people. Tiff can talk to people. And just let everybody know. Tell everybody to join. If anybody ever joins direct, we always find out who referred them. So their stylist, they can type in your stylist number. Some opportunity calls are coming up, so stay tuned to hear about that. Thank you, everybody, and have a fabulous rest of your night. Bye-bye.